Dylan, please let me know the darkest secret of properties in Malaysia. I would say, hi guys, my name is Dylan, and today we are back to another sharing series. And this time we will be talking about some Q&As. Okay, basically some of you all have PM or emailed me the questions, and I've compiled a few that I can try to address. Alright, so let's get started. The first question will be how to create 2,000 positive cash flow through property investment without quitting my main job. The first thing is actually property investment, you don't really have to quit your job. In fact, you need an active income or active job for you to buy more properties. Alright, so to get positive cash flow, the concept is to find below market value. And to find below market value deals generally will be in sub-sales market. Some of them they are urgent to sell, or in auction market, or in bulk purchases, right? But then for new projects, if you're asking about new projects, it depends on the market sentiment. If the developer who has launched, maybe for some time the sales is not good, they will reduce the price, or they will throw a rebate. Right? They'll give you extra rebate. So then you have to check whether it tallies with the surrounding market value. If it doesn't, then it's not a good deal. If the price is then lower than the surrounding per square feet, then it's worth getting. Right? Because for property investment, right, there is no best property or worst property. It's all about the price that you enter. Because when the price that you enter is lower than the surrounding, generally your installment will also be lower. Let's assume that it's 35 years. Alright? So if it's lower than the surrounding, and then the rental that you are getting is actually market value, this is where positive cash flow happens. Alright? So that is one thing, buy below market value. Second thing is to find ways of renting and exiting. Okay, so nowadays there are a few ways is to go to Airbnb, using room rental, and then maybe you target expat market. You need to have multiple ways. You cannot just rely on one. Like for example, if you rely on students accommodation only, what if the university move away? So this is one thing. And then to exit is also something that you have to take note. Right? But the question is 2K per month extra. It's basically just buy below market value. The next question will be, what is the worst thing to do in property investment if you are young? I would say, some may bash me, I would say is to buy an own stay house immediately, especially those like purely own stay, because a few of my friends, they have already complained to me that, because if you buy your own stay house, most likely if it's landed, right, it's bare unit. If it's bare, how much money you have to throw on renovation, and renovation doesn't add into your value. Technically, most of them, they don't add. You put a chandelier in the living room, it doesn't add value because it's not appealing. It may only appeal to a certain group of people, right? So yeah, buying own stay property initially is the worst. But if you really need, or you don't believe in property investment, you really need to buy an own stay one, try to buy property that fits the 5 main things. The 5 main things that I keep mentioning: connectivity, pedestrian friendliness, commercial or shopping mall need to be nearby offices, or even have greeneries. Try to fit in these 5 main points. Alright? The next question will be the top 5 locations to invest in Malaysia. The top 5 location, right? It's first, definitely, I think Johor, KL, Penang, if you're talking about states. Alright? But then, because I'm more well versed in KL, to be frank, I would say, let's say if it's in KL, I would say Bangsar South, Mont Kiara, Desa Park City. KLCC now the price has been reduced a lot because last time it was too high. It may be a good time to enter, and somewhere near TRX. I think these 5 locations are the one that it's going to be very interesting in terms of rental. Alright? So the next question. What is the worst property type to avoid in today's market? Studio unit. Personally, I feel that studio unit, it's very difficult to sell. And then if the location, if it's in very tourist-oriented location, for example, in Genting, Cameron, in Langkawi, I don't know, Pulau Pangkor maybe. Those locations are very difficult to sell. It's mainly if you buy for a trophy home, it's okay. If you buy for a holiday home, it's okay. But yeah. Next question. Should I rent or buy property? Oh, so this one I did an episode about it already. Should I rent or buy? I did a car podcast with Stephanie. So It depends on your current stage. If it's me, I'll rather rent first, okay, rather than to buy a property to stay. Because if you know how the banking, Malaysia's banking DSR works, right? If I were to buy a house, say 3,000 ringgit per month installment, if I were to rent it out, I get 2005 or 2006. But then at the same time, I rent a unit my own. It doesn't include my DSR. So this 3,000 commitment, I have 2005, 2006 to cover, then my commitment is only 400 ringgit in bank's eyes. Of course, you have to times 80% of the rental. Some of them, they calculate 50%. So it depends on which bank. But the theory is that I would definitely rent first, then buy investment property. The next question will be, Dylan, please let me know the darkest secret of properties in Malaysia. I would say a lot of people say property should make money. It's wrong. Not all property make money. Yeah, that's the darkest secret. I think a lot of marketers or agents are saying this. No, it's not actually. If you were to find in most of the people's portfolio, they are complaining that property don't earn money because the price that they enter, it's not the right price, right? This one is actually regarding some foreigners asking, is MM2H worth going for it? Okay, basically, we need to know what MM2H is. MM2H, it's a scheme for foreigners to buy in Malaysia's property below $1 million, and then it's a scheme to help solve overhung properties in Malaysia. Generally in Johor, in Penang and KL, these three locations has the most overhung property. Alright? Okay, let me just brief you all on the latest update on MM2H. The latest update on MM2H, we have silver, gold and platinum. Basically, the minimum FD that you have to put in, if you were to get the silver, which is 5 years visa, it's 150,000 of USD, which means around 700,000 ringgit, according to the data here. And then you need to buy at least 600,000 in terms of property. And generally, it can only be overhung properties from the developer. It cannot be sub-sales. So, is it worth going? I would say, from my perspective, I don't think it's worth, because for a lot of foreigners, right, for example, from Singapore, from Hong Kong, from South Korea, from the UK, if they were to come over, right, most of our properties in Malaysia, if it's below $1 million, right, maybe 500,000-600,000, it doesn't fit what they want. Generally, it doesn't fit what they are looking for, because most of them, they are so used to staying in maybe this luxurious layout, or in Hong Kong, they are staying in a very shoebox size already layout. Then you want to come here, you want to stay in a similar layout again. It doesn't make sense. So they would want to buy bigger size, 1,005 square feet, 1,007, 2,000 square feet. So generally, the price like this will be slightly higher, easily $1 million and above. So I would say to save the hassle, or even to put FD in Malaysia for so much amount, for 700,000, 2 million, 4 million, all of this doesn't appeal to me. If I'm a foreigner, I would just buy $1 million. It's easier because I don't have to lock my money in Malaysia. That's my thought. Alright. Okay, and then the next question will be, what are the hidden costs of buying a condo? Okay, so a lot of people, I think I received a lot of questions. You keep saying rental is good, but you didn't calculate cukai tanah, cukai pintu, agent fees, property gain tax, and whatsoever, right? What are the hidden costs? A lot of people, they didn't say about assessment rate. Basically, our cukai tanah, cukai pintu, these two things are quite hidden. The third thing will be, I would say, the maintenance cost. A lot of people, not maintenance fee, maintenance cost. Because, like for example, if you were to repair the aircon, you have to check in the agreement, when the tenants occupied it, then the tenant may pay, will have to pay. But if it's after, then you have to pay. Those are the things that you have to take note. And I think the renewal fees of every tenancy, when it's being renewed, some of the agents will charge a full payment. So this is something that I have to take note as well. I think, do let me know if there's any extra hidden costs. For now, I don't really foresee, but these are the few things that you can take note. Okay. And I think the last question that I think is quite interesting will be the best property investment strategy in Malaysia. I would say the best property strategy is to buy below market value. That's one thing. That's something I always emphasize. Second thing, it will be multiple rental strategy and multiple exiting strategy. So example, you rent to students, you can rent to office workers, you can rent as Airbnb to tourists. There are a lot of ways of investing, do room rentals whatsoever. And then to sell off, you can sell to own stay buyers, you can sell to investors, you can sell as a trophy home whatsoever. So this, if there are few ways to sell, to dispose it, then it's definitely one of the better ways to invest in Malaysia. And then the last question will be, someone asks like, why do I only look at the 5 points? Connectivity, pedestrian friendly, commercial, shopping mall, office, greeneries. No need to look at price and layout, meh? You need to. Definitely need to. But then the thing is, because for prices and layout, right, it's very personal preference. I'm not too sure what budget you can afford, you can go for, or you're comfortable with, and I'm not too sure what layouts that suits you. So generally, if you have decided on the price and the layout, after looking at the price and location and you're satisfied with it, then I would recommend you to look at the 5 main points: greeneries, office, commercial shopping mall, pedestrian friendliness, and connectivity. If your property is suited, it fits these 5 main points, generally the investment value of that property is not too bad one. It will be quite okay. Yeah, so that's the reason why I recommended these 5 main points. Of course, it's based on my findings, and if you have anything that you want to add on, do let me know as well. Okay, and that's all for this episode. I'm trying to actually answer one question within a minute, but I tend to be a bit long-winded because I like to explain more. I think that's all for this episode, and if you do like this video, do like, share and subscribe. And if you have any questions that you want to ask, right, do PM me through email or Instagram, and I'll see you next video. Bye bye.